Hello folks, this is Joshua Blocker. Just coming to you in regards to, first off, just to get a basis on what's going on. I feel like the Lord's leading me into a different ministry, maybe online ministry, maybe more of a video type ministry that's online. So with that being said, I started what is called Blocker Ministries for now. It's just a basic thing to see about maybe getting into just the Facebook Live, YouTube, and that sort of thing. One of my features, I guess, is going to be for starting off is just a ministry that my grandfather had as a preacher, but he also wrote a book called Under the Red Star. And I had mentioned it before online that I was going to basically do a series on it or some sort of a program on it. And so it's simply a book that we'll be going through and just things that he had been gone through his life, the challenges and things that he had done. But it's basically called Under the Red Star. And when he wrote it, with the mindset of basically just bringing people to Christ as well as just a testimony of his life. It's a powerful book. It's a quick, easy read. And so it's actually not too shabby, but not too bad. So where I'm at, I'm actually outside my property at the house. I built this log cabin 2 years ago or so, just to be able to, as a stress reliever, and it's not been too bad overall. It's sinking here a little bit here and there. I got to do some more frames and stuff on it, but it's not bad. I haven't got it chinked yet. Still in the process of doing that. I call it my holy cabin at the moment. I'll let you see just the tab of what it is. So it's still got some holes in it, as you can see there. It's not been bad overall. It's got the little roof there. Not too shabby. But in the nutshell, it's not too shabby. So, with that being said, I'll get into my testimony real quick. As a believer in the Lord, I was saved at the age of 5 at Grace Baptist Church in Anderson. One of Don Camp's, I believe it was his son-in-law, led me to the Lord. It was during Sunday school. I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior and got baptized probably weeks later after that. Went to several different camps, served the Lord as best I could as a child, I had a decent childhood growing up. Moved into, I thought was going to become the ministry. I thought I was going to the ministry of some sort with a mindset of maybe preaching. Was involved in a few things, trying to preach, if you will, at the church, and that nature just was not me, just did not feel like me at the time. So I backed out of it and went into what they call computer programming during high school. I was schooled at home. I was schooled at home for 10 years. And during that time frame, I thought, well, I'll try computer programming. Not too shabby of a career. So I jumped into computer programming. We got all the stuff for it. And I went through it for almost a year, and it just does not feel like me. And so it was not a fit for me. So I left that and went into conservation law enforcement. Was my niche. I thought, well, I'd be a conservation officer and try to get into maybe doing, because I like the outdoors, I like being involved in nature. I'll be a conservation officer. So I went to school for that, got a 2-year degree for that, came back from that, and then tried to get hired. And at the time they were on a 3-year hiring freeze, and it was not looking too promising. So I put my apps into a lot of different agencies, and I got hired by a police agency. At that point in time, I've been there for now about a little over 20 some years, 22 to be exact, at this agency. And during this time frame, I just felt like maybe I needed to get into something else, maybe I needed to do something else. And so during the transition of time and just being in this field of law enforcement. It changes you. It's not an easy career. It's a rewarding career, but it's not an easy career. And so mentally, it affects you. It affects your family. It affects your personal well-being. And so after 10 so years, I'm a Christian, believer of the Lord, supposed to live like a Christian, but during 10 years of this job, I was not looking like a Christian. If you were to set me beside an unbeliever, someone that doesn't know the Lord, doesn't claim to know the Lord, I looked identical. I looked just like him. Cussed like a sailor. And not so much at home, but more or less at work. It was just a bad setting. So I was getting convicted. I was getting really convicted about it. Realizing that I'm not proclaiming Christ like I should be. We lived in northern part of the county that I work in, and we had horses, and I was out feeding them. And as I was going out and got done the feeding, I was heading back in, and I'm crying out to the Lord. And I'm like, Lord, if you want me to do something else, if you want me to move and go into the ministry, you want me to do something else, because I'm really getting, convicted about what I've turned into, if you will, and what I've not done for you, and I'll just quit and go into the ministry, like I was going to in the beginning. And during this time frame,